Welcome to the apocalypse. It was just as you imagined. How are you, dear hidden and knowledgeable audience? Ordinary citizens, victims of the algorithm and public spending. It's a pleasure to greet you. Make yourselves comfortable, because with today's news, you'll need it. Welcome to this video column where reality outdoes Netflix fiction, just with worse acting. Today we woke up to Uncle Sam being more intense than ever. Donald Trump, like a character from an 80s cartoon but with nuclear codes. He has decided that his new marketing campaign isn't red hats, but military boots on Mexican soil. And meanwhile, in our beloved second floor of transformation, it seems like the strategy is to ask for permission, so they don't hit us so hard. What a wonderful situation. Let's get to it. Let's start with the protagonist of the world's most stable toupee. Donald Trump has dropped the bomb. He wants a ground fight against the drug cartels. After the recent crisis in Venezuela, all eyes are on Claudia Sheinbaum's administration. With the possibility of unprecedented military intervention, the geopolitical landscape between Mexico and the United States is experiencing a seismic shakeup. What for years was just campaign rhetoric now seems to be taking shape as an imminent plan of action. Donald Trump is preparing to escalate the war on drug trafficking to a level never seen before, arguing that Mexican criminal groups should not be treated as common criminals, but as international terrorists on the level of Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, or Al-Qaeda. Donald Trump says that the cartels are enemy armies. And honestly, the man isn't completely lying. The issue is he treats this like playing Call of Duty from Mar-a-Lago. He plans to send special forces into Mexico to destroy the criminal groups. National sovereignty only exists in the mind and words of the lady at the National Palace. Following recent events in Venezuela, the Trump administration's discourse has become more aggressive. The analysis circulating in political circles suggests that the Caracas model, a combination of maximum pressure and surgical operations, could be the roadmap for northern Mexico. Under this new perspective, Culiacan is emerging as the top target for the deployment of next-generation drones and the use of special forces on Mexican soil. These aren't conspiracy theories anymore. They're key security priorities. Trump. The border wall is no longer enough. The new war will be fought in the heart of territories controlled by organized crime. But what did the President of the United States say? I quote, "We have eradicated 97% of the drugs that come in by water. And now we're going to start attacking the cartels on land," declared Trump in an interview with the popular Fox News host, Sean Hannity. "We're going to start attacking the cartels on land. The cartels control Mexico. Claudia Sheinbaum has an ultimatum, just like she once gave to Maduro. The main question is for the lady with the ponytail. The Trump administration has sent an implicit ultimatum. Mexico must accept military cooperation from the United States, or face the consequences of unilateral action. This scenario puts national sovereignty, the one Chachis talks about so much, in an extremely vulnerable position. Trump's narrative is clear. If the Mexican government cannot or does not want to dismantle the cartels, the United States will do it on its own. This stance ignores traditional diplomatic protocols, which we all know is something Mr. Orange doesn't care about at all. At the same time, it raises an uncomfortable question for the public. Is this intervention the solution to violence or the start of a bigger tragedy? The proposal has generated immediate polarization. On one hand, sectors of the population exhausted by violence see in technology and American military power a hope for order. On the other hand, international analysts warn that allowing operations by foreign special forces and drones would set a dangerous precedent that would strip Mexico of its autonomy. What I think they're not seeing is that allowing is just a way of saying it, because it's become clear to us that if there's one thing Donald Trump doesn't do, it's ask for permission. Trump's plan aims not only to stop fentanyl, but also to assert hemispheric dominance. The use of lethal force in foreign territory, under the argument of United States national security, could turn the bilateral relationship into an area of open conflict. While Sheinbaum's administration tries to maintain a stance of mutual respect and diplomacy, the drums of war from Washington are sounding louder and louder. At the morning press conference in Acapulco, Guerrero, La Doñita asked the Secretary of Foreign Affairs, Juan Ramón de la Fuente, to meet with the United States Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, after the statements made by the Republican. And do you know what that's going to be good for? The same thing she's good for nothing. The possibility of seeing drones flying over states like Sinaloa or Tamaulipas under orders from the Pentagon is a reality that Mexico must urgently process. Interventionism is unchecked, and the Trump administration appears ready to do anything. Mexico finds itself once again between the sword of internal violence and the wall of foreign intervention. So what the lady has left is to repeat like a parrot, over and over again, more submission. Cooperation. Objectively, it's clear this isn't about the health of young Americans using fentanyl. This is pure politics, plain and simple. It's about promoting the great savior who cleans up while expanding his empire, similar to what happened with oil in Venezuela. That was the goal. But if along the way he takes out a few jerks, I'm sure many people appreciate it. Same thing in Mexico. Is it true the mister wants to control the country's resources? Yes, it would be naive to think otherwise, but you know what? Either way, those same resources are being stolen by the 4T with no benefit for any Mexican, except for the welfare brats and the whole gang of Morena mobsters. The oil the welfare made is being sent to Cuba. The difference is that if the United States intervenes, it's more likely there will be opportunities for private companies, which translates into jobs and economic recovery. And on the flip side, what do we have? Our brand new president, Claudia Sheinbaum, who, in the face of the threat of an invasion, let's call things by their name, responds with the firmness of a jelly. In the middle of August, Sheinbaum has come out to ask for closer communication. Bravo, what decisiveness. Surely Trump, after saying he's going to send Apache helicopters, will say, "Oh, Claudia, you're right, let's send each other WhatsApps to see how we're feeling today." The official story is that Mexico is free and sovereign. Yes, so sovereign that we rely on our northern neighbor not suddenly imposing 25% tariffs to keep our economy from collapsing. Sheinbaum insists that the solution is cooperation, but while she talks about dialogue, public opinion shows a very different reality. If you take a look at social media and independent media, the ones that the official press discredits, you'll see that people's perception is a mix of terror and resignation. On one hand, we see statements from the United States treating Mexico like a shooting range. On the other, we see a Mexican society that no longer knows whether to fear the criminals more or the liberators who want to come help us. As the saying goes, choose the lesser of two evils. Without a doubt, Trump's rhetoric is hitting hard. The guy knows how to sell fear, and fear is the best fuel for him. So, dear hidden and knowledgeable audience, get ready. We're entering a stage of zero diplomacy. Trump will keep threatening with fire and brimstone because that gives him strength. Sheinbaum will keep talking about Mexican humanism and sovereignty because that keeps the masses calm. And in the middle, are we just watching how the world shakes every time Trump sneezes? And how? Security in the country is still a theoretical concept that only exists in the colorful charts of the Security Secretariat. There will be an invasion, probably not in the way Trump shouts about it, but economic pressure and covert incursions will be the order of the day. And our response will be, as always, a very well-written press release. And a lot of hope that our neighbor gets distracted by something else. The reality is that here, no one is safe except for a member of Morena. Right now, they must have an itch in their rectum, and the breakfast chilaquiles have given them diarrhea. Anyway, my dear cultured and knowledgeable audience, that's how things are in this surreal neighborhood called North America. As they say, fear doesn't travel on an interoceanic train. A question for Mrs. Claudia. Is it time for women or for courage? She should be careful and know what she's doing. If she continues like this, she should consider her buddy Maduro as an example. The orange jumpsuit is already waiting for her and the jackass from Macuspana. Read between the lines and remember, in politics what is said is a lie, and what isn't said is what will really affect us. See you next time if sovereignty allows us. Be bad, but take good care of yourselves.
Remember that you can make your donations via PayPal. You can find the information in the comment box. Thanks to you, this channel stays active. It's very important to subscribe, like, and press the bell to receive notifications every time there's new content. Thank you.